I'm Danny Epperson at the palatial Commodore Theater in downtown Portsmouth. Thanks for joining me for WHRO Cinema 15. Our feature presentation is one of the greatest achievements in cinematic history, the 1959 blockbuster Ben-Hur. Hollywood epics don't come any bigger than Ben-Hur. When this film was released in 1959, it was a box office sensation, but it wasn't the first time that America fell in love with the story of Ben-Hur's triumph over tragedy. The film was adapted from Lew Wallace's 1880 novel, Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ. Wallace was a Union general in the Civil War who traded his sword for a pen and ended up writing the best-selling novel of the 19th century. His book inspired a series of elaborate stage productions and a 1925 silent film. In 1952, MGM announced their plans to resurrect the story on a gigantic scale. In the 50s, Hollywood needed something big to lure audiences out of their living rooms and away from their televisions. They discovered that sweeping historical dramas provided a widescreen spectacle that tiny televisions couldn't hold. Ben-Hur tells the story of two old friends turned rivals in the time of Christ. Charlton Heston stars as a Jewish prince, Judah Ben-Hur, and Stephen Boyd is Messala, a newly promoted Roman officer. When Ben-Hur refuses to betray his people, he suffers the wrath of the Roman Empire and embarks on a lifelong quest for revenge. The production of Ben-Hur was almost as colossal as the 3.5-hour cut of the film. Now, I could spend 3.5 hours talking about the making of the film, but here are some quick facts about Ben-Hur. It had the largest budget of any film produced at the time. It took 100 wardrobe designers to make the costumes and a workshop of 200 artists just to make the statues. There were 200 camels, 2,500 horses, and 10,000 extras. And the 18-acre chariot arena was the largest set ever built for film. Hollywood continued to make big-screen epics for a few more years, but no other film earned the critical respect, awards, or box office impact like Ben-Hur. So hit the lights, make a really big bowl of popcorn, and enjoy Ben-Hur. That was incredible. In 1959, Ben-Hur became the second highest grossing film in history after Gone with the Wind. It won a record 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Cinematography. One of the film's most memorable scenes was the thrilling chariot race where Ben-Hur defeats Messala. Charlton Heston and Stephen Boyd both learned how to drive chariots, which added to the authenticity of the sequence. Shooting the race took 10 weeks and cost $4 million, which represented 25% of the film's total budget. $1 million of that went towards paying 1,000 workmen who spent a full year carving the racetrack out of a rock quarry. The chariot race remains one of the most exciting action scenes ever captured on film. 40 years later, George Lucas even paid homage to it with his pod racing scene in Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace. But Ben-Hur wasn't all thrills and adventure. Throughout the film, Judah Ben-Hur finds inspiration and salvation along the way from a mysterious man from Bethlehem. Director William Wyler struggled with how to represent Jesus Christ in many of the key scenes and ultimately chose to keep his face hidden and his voice silent. He even consulted with religious leaders to make sure that he told the story with dignity and respect. Apparently he did okay because Ben-Hur is the only Hollywood film to make the list of religious movies endorsed by the Vatican. I'm Danny Epperson, and I'll see you next week for WHRO Cinema 15 and another classic movie.